Hey, how long have you been studying English? You know, I have been teaching English for a long time. And in today's lesson, we're going to practice how long questions and present perfect. We'll also look at the difference between for and since. All right, let's go. The present perfect is such an important English grammar form. It is very, very commonly used in English by native speakers. We often make present perfect sentences and questions. In today's lesson, you are going to practice both. You are going to make present perfect questions. Today, we will make how long questions. And you will answer those questions. So you will make sentences. And we will use for and since to answer those questions. If you can master this grammar, if you can master this question and answer, you will sound more like a native speaker and your English will go to the next level. In today's lesson, we are focusing on how long questions, and we're using the present perfect. So let's understand, what does present perfect mean in this question? So if you look at the screen, we have a graphic, we've got a display here. Now, this is showing you what present perfect means. So any present perfect sentence, this means that the action has started in the past. We don't know when in the past, but we know it started in the past. And it continues until present time. And will continue into the future. Okay, so one more time, it starts in the past at some point. It continues until the present time, and then will continue into the future. So for example, I said in the introduction, I have taught English for a long time. I have taught English for a long time. So here, the beginning point of teaching is in the past. We don't know when, we don't know the exact time in the past, but it's the past. And that teaching has continued to now, and it is continuing into the future. Okay, now that we understand what present perfect means, first, let's go over how we make the how long question. In today's lesson, we're only focusing on how long, and we are going to answer with for and since. To make a how long question, I want you to use these two how long patterns. So first, we will have how long plus have plus you, we, they, or even I, plus the past participle verb. Now, the other how long question we could make is how long plus has, plus my subjects here are he, she, it, plus the past participle verb. Now, if some of you are not sure what the past participle verb means, this means the third position of the verb forms. So we have the present tense verb, we have the past tense verb, and then we've got the past participle tense verb. So it's the third position. So for example, if I said eat, which is present, past is ate, and then past participle is eaten. Okay, so that brings us to the first quiz of today's lesson. Let's test our knowledge of past participle verbs. In this quiz, I will give you the present tense and the past tense. You tell me the past participle. Number 1, go, went, and gone. Number 2, be, was, were, and been. Number 3, see, saw, and seen. Number 4, have, had, and had. Number 5, come, came, and come. Okay, so how did you do? Did you get all 5 of those past participles? If not, don't worry, you can just rewatch that part of the video and try again. Also, while you're at it, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell. Okay, so we've learned how to make how long questions. Now, let's go over how we can answer the questions. Now, with any how long plus present perfect question, a very common way to answer is using for and since. All right, so it's very, very commonly used. There are other ways, but in today's lesson, we are going to focus on for and since. Okay, so let's look at the difference between for and since. Let's look at first since. If I use since, it means I am telling you the very beginning point of the time. So I want to tell you the very beginning point. So let's look at an example. Okay, let's use our imagination. So please look at this sentence. I live in Paris. I live in Paris. So the time period is from 2020 until now, which is 2023. So 2020 to 2023. So here, the beginning point is 2020. So my answer is since 2020. Since 2020. 2020 is the beginning point. So I always use since plus the beginning point. Now, number 2, for. Let's look at for. If I use for, I am talking about the total period of time. I'm not talking about the beginning point or the end point. It's the total time. So if we look at the same example sentence, I live in Paris. The time period is 2020 to 2023. 2020 to 2023. The total period of time is 3 years. So my answer here is for 3 years. For 3 years. Now, if I make a sentence using present perfect, first let's make a sentence using since. I have lived in Paris since 2020. Next, let's use for. I have lived in Paris for 3 years. So since is the beginning point, for is the total period of time. Okay, so to better understand this, let's do our second quiz of the lesson. In this quiz, you must choose between for and since. I am going to put some information on the screen. I'll give you a time period, or I'll give you the beginning point. Please choose for or since. For example, if I said something 2003, in this situation, 2003 is the beginning point. So my answer is since 2003. If I put the sentence something 10 years. So 10 years is the total period of time. So my answer is for 10 years. Okay, so I will give you 5 questions. Please choose for or since. All right, number 1, please look at the screen. Something last weekend. Since last weekend. Number 2, something 10 minutes. For 10 minutes. Number 3, something a decade. For a decade. Now here, decade means 10 years. 10 years. So for 10 years or for a decade. Number 4, something I was young. Since I was young. And number 5, something ages. For ages. So here, ages means a long time. So for a long time, for ages. Okay, so how did you do? Did you get all of those right? If not, just review it and try again. Also, if you want more of this type of practice, just ask me down below and I can give you another list of these questions and you can practice them at home. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell. Okay, so we have finished 2 quizzes. Next, let's put it all together. Let's do our speaking part of the lesson. This is the active part where you can practice your English. You will make how long questions, and you will answer the questions using for and since. Make sure that you are speaking at home when you're watching this part. This is a great chance to practice your English. In this section, I am going to give you some information. So first, I want you to make a how long question. Next, I will give you more information about the answer. Please use that information and answer the question. For example, let's do 1 together. After we do 1 together, the next 5 you will try. Okay, so let's see how we do this. Please look at the screen. And I have the words how long, be, teacher, and the subject is you. I must use these words to make a question. So the subject is you. So if I remember my how long question pattern, my question will be, how long have you, so my verb is be verb, so the past participle of be is been. And then we've got teacher. So my question is, how long have you been a teacher? How long have you been a teacher? Okay, so that's the question. Next, if you look at the screen, the answer says 10 years. 10 years. So 10 years is the total amount of time. So my answer is for 10 years. For 10 years. Now, if I want to make a long answer, my answer is, I have been a teacher for 10 years. If we want to make a short answer, we say for 10 years. Okay, so I hope you understand how this next section will go. So make sure you look at the words, make your question, look at the answer, and then make your answer. You can make a long answer or you can make a short answer. The first 3 questions, I will give you the verb. But the last 2, I'm not going to tell you the verb. So you must think of which verb to use. Okay, number 1, please look at the screen. We have the words, of course, how long, no, best friend, and the subject is you. What is your how long question? All right, my question is, how long have you known your best friend? How long have you known your best friend? Now, let's answer the question. Please look at the information. The answer, please use this information. It says high school. High school. What is your answer? Okay, so my answer is, I have known my best friend since high school. Okay, so short answer, since high school. Number 2, please look at the screen, make a question. How long study French, and the subject is they. What is your question? My question is, how long have they studied French? Now, please make an answer. Look at the screen. My answer is, they have studied French for 2 months. Or a short answer is, for 2 months. Number 3, please look at the information. How long have car, and the subject is she. What is your question? My question is, how long has she had her car? How long has she had her car? Now, let's look at the answer. What is your answer? All right, my answer here is, she has had her car since January. Short answer is, since January. Number 4. Now, in this situation, I will not give you the verb. Please think of the verb that you will use to make this question. So it will be a little bit more difficult. Okay, so number 4, please look at the information. How long he married. How long he married. What is your question? My question is, how long has he been married? How long has he been married? Now, please look at the answer and make your answer. Okay, here my answer is he has been married since 2015. He has been married since 2015. Or, short answer, since 2015. And number 5. Please look at the information. There will be no verb, so please choose the verb. How long? Piano. And here the subject is you. All right, my question is, how long have you played the piano? How long have you played the piano? Now, look at the screen. What is your answer? My answer is, I have played the piano for a decade. I have played the piano for a decade. Or a short answer is, for a decade. Okay, how did you do? Did you get all of those questions and answers right? Now remember, there could be other questions, other answers. So if your question or if your answer was different, please leave it down in the comments section and I will check your answers. Also, if you want more practice like this, just ask me down below and I can give you some more practice. And if you liked this lesson, if you think it was useful, please subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell. I'm always posting videos, so make sure you watch all of those as well as the ones I've already posted. So, until the next lesson, see ya. Thank you very much for watching today's lesson. Today we practiced how long and the present perfect. We also understood, Thank you very much for watching today's lesson. Today we practiced how long, the present perfect, and for and since. If you think this lesson was useful, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell. Until the next lesson, see ya.